Hey, look at that. We're getting impressed with myself. All right. Hey, good morning, Jim. Hey, Mark. How you guys doing? Good morning, Vernon. Thank you for being here every morning. I appreciate it. Let me know that the YouTube side of things work. Appreciate it. You're always there. Okay. Well, what do we have? Don't mess with that. There we go. There we go. All right. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Happy, what is it, Tuesday, February 24th, 2016. Here. Thank you very much. For those who don't know, my name is Rick, by the way. Is that John? You need to put up a video start. Put up the video startup on a 3x5 card. Yeah, you know, I've tried different ways. I really have. And switching it from the I guess, oh, it's still on. There we go. There we go. Music is off. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it. Switching it from the Bulls and the Bears and all that fighting to the screen, it's like it changes every time. And I don't know. I can't figure out a smooth way, but we'll get it. We'll get it. Hey, Daniel, good morning. Everything? Yep, everything's all well. Yes. Let's see here. Hey, Bob, good morning. Thank you, Sonny. Yeah, Riley to the rescue. All right. Yeah, man, need a drink. Well, I guess tonight, you know, we have the State of the Union. Who knows? Maybe that'll spark something in the market one way or another. And I really don't care whether the market, here it is right here. I honestly, I don't care if the market, you know, takes off to the upside or totally breaks down. Just get out of this consolidation that we're in. I mean, I would prefer we go up, but as long as we can get out of this consolidation, I think trading will be a little bit better. Anyway, while we're in this consolidation, I think a little bit of caution should be had. If we take a look at the Qs here, we're still not doing anything. I don't know how many people have this moving average up on your charts. This is the what we call the dotted deuce, and it's a modified 200 period moving average. And it does look like it's holding us up. I mean, we've tagged it once. We could call that, well, we could call that maybe twice, maybe through three times. Definite four, definite five. Nah, we'll skip those two. Six, definitely. Seven, definitely. We've tagged that and we're holding up. Now, if we start to look at this, let me get my pencil out. If we follow the trendicator down and we follow that moving average up, you see how we're getting tighter and tighter and tighter? Something's going to happen. Um, I've been trading an awful long time, and I know a lot of you people have been trading as well. And you know that when this starts, you get to a point, it can't keep going. It cannot. It cannot do that. And it won't. What's going to happen is it will explode to the upside or explode to the downside when that tightens up. And it's starting to get pretty tight right there. So here, let's put something up permanent in case we come back to this. There we go. So just like that. And like I said, it won't, we're getting pretty tight. So, something could happen here in the next, I don't know, 4 or 5 days maybe. Um, Something could change this. We have NVIDIA earnings tomorrow. That could be a game changer. And again, what happens tonight, the State of the Union, that could be some kind of game changer as well. So, what we need is a catalyst to take us out of this slump that we're in. The mags, well, they're just killing us as far as I'm concerned. They are the culprit to everything. And if you look at Apple here, Apple's got nothing to be in love with. Apple's got nothing, there's no reason to be a buyer necessarily that I see, no reason to be a seller. It's just chopping around doing nothing. If you take a look at Amazon, well, that just stinks. We're down low, probably oversold. I don't have an oversold indicator, but I would say that's oversold. But what would be the reason to buy it other than maybe a long-term investor? You buy every pullback, which that makes sense if that's what you do. Take a look at Microsoft. I was telling my wife last night, Microsoft could be $100 stock one of these days. Can you believe that? Can you believe old Microsoft could be? Um, it could be. Google. I like the price action of Google. We talked about this yesterday, but until it gets over that 50-period moving average, that is a blue eyes failure setting up. Tesla. What's good about Tesla right now? Nothing. Meta. There's not much going on with Meta. No reason to buy it. One could make an argument. We've got a low, high. You've got a higher low. You can. But if you're going to use this right here, if you're going to use this low and this high and that higher low, well, your buy is not till it breaks out here. Newsflash, that's trading. Well, now if we come over here and say, here's a low and here's a high, there's a double bottom or higher low about the same thing. Well, we're going to have to break out here to be a buyer. And then I see lots of little problems up till we break out through that, about 680, 690 here. And then, of course, NVIDIA. Now, I think NVIDIA is a pretty nice chart setting up here. I really do. I think it's poised to move higher. Unfortunately, you never know about earnings. They could blow earnings clean out of the water, but in this market, the market might not like it and drop it down. So, big day, really, tomorrow with earnings. I think a big day. Let's take a look here at the spiders real quick, okay? Take a look at, let's see. What I did is I created everything that's in a trend right there. And then what's not in a trend is below. But if you take a look at XLU, we're moving up. Price, T-line, trendicator, very nice. So these are all, if you're looking for something bullish, take a look at these sectors here. XLB is acting good. Price, T-line, trendicator. Trend is working. XLRE, price, T-line, trend. So what we're looking for, what I like to look for anyway, are the trending charts and then pullbacks with buy signals in there, looking to continue that trend. And there you get your continuation pattern. XLP working out well, XLI well, XLV. I like the way that chart looks. I mean, look at that. Look how we've tightened up. Just take those highs and those lows. And again, like we looked at, what was it, the Qs? We get so tight over here, something's got to happen. It can't, price cannot get jammed into that corner and stay there. It just won't. And when you get so tight, we either explode to the upside or explode to the downside. And right now, XLV looks like it might be heading to the upside. XLF, that's one sad puppy right there. Um, that's one sad puppy. What was that I heard yesterday on the news after the market? Something about AI, something about the banks might not be needed down the road, you know? Wow. Um, yeah, that's pretty funny, actually. You know, do you guys all remember when just not too long ago, a couple years ago, oh, AI is not going to take any business away. AI is not going to take any jobs away. You know, they must think they must think you and I are as dumb as a rock because all of us said baloney. It's going to do it, and and I mean, they really must think we are stupid. It's incredible. It truly is. All right. So anyway, here's stocks that's not trending, which if you look at the spiders, you've got more trending stocks up than you do down. So one has to wonder, why is the market so hard, so tight? But it is. Look at XLK down, XLY down, XLC down, XL or the SPY. I've got that on there, and that's down. So you can see that. I've got another one over here that I've been watching. And if you're in TC2000, you've got the IX number. I got those letters mixed up. But you know, if we take a look at these, just the top ones, just you might not be able to see them. Let me read this off to you. Silver, gold, grocery store. These are the ones that are trending and working. Silver, gold, grocery store, copper, confectioners, drug manufacturer, tobacco, utility. You see a theme here? See a theme? Utilities, household, beverages, medical, oil and gas, discount stores, healthcare facilities, utilities. There's a real theme going on. And that theme is things that we need, things that not extras. You know, everyone's got to eat, everyone's going to drink, everyone that smokes going to smoke. You know, it's the way it is. Utilities, drugs, but that's the theme here. You can see how some of these are looking. I mean, look at those. I mean, talking about some nice charts, man. So one has to wonder what's going on with this market. Well, I think it's everybody is scared to death. Everybody is nervous. Everybody is concerned. You know, kind of afraid to just reach out and do something. So Vern wrote, geopolitics, yes. Threats of aggression, yes. Government partial shutdown, yes. Uncertainty, reasons for chop, yeah. I mean, everything is there really for this market to work, but you know, everybody's just kind of afraid. Everybody, all traders, investors, they're afraid because they don't know what's going to come next. So anyway, on T2123 down here, this is something I follow pretty heavily, and it is saying don't be long at the moment. Don't be long. That doesn't mean there's not long charts to be had, but this is, for my trading, this is something I follow, and it says, you know, back up on the longs, maybe be a little short. T2108, it's down, which that's not good. But let's put the, you know, VXX up here, and you can see that that's trending up. So when we have this down, the T2123 down, and we have the VIX moving up, and let's put the VIX up here too. Let's see, right there. You can see that trend. See how that's working? Look at price, T-line, trend indicator above the 50. It's a nice chart. So when we see that happening, I mean, that tells you a story that maybe the long side is not ready just yet. Maybe it's not. Okay. So something to think about there. Speaking of the long side, I do want to look at PYPL, PayPal. That had a nice finish yesterday, nice inside day. Now, the rumor is this is getting acquired. Maybe it is. I don't know 100% sure. But anyway, the stock is looking pretty good here, looking real good. Great day yesterday, nice inside today. Looks to me like it could run up toward that 50 period moving average, about a 16% move there. So, with that said, I kind of focused on some shorts today because I do focus on longs a lot, and I thought, well, let's focus on some shorts today. Uh, and here we have MFC. Here's a nice, nice trend up, and then we broke down. And this is a blue ice failure where we break down below that 50 period moving average. We rally up to the 50, and it's okay to break out. And then we're going back down. So really, what we've got is we're up, like right here, and then we're down, and then we're up, and we make a failed high, and then we're down again. That's what we're looking at. So let's change the color. So there's up, there's down, there's your failed high, and there we are down. And this is also a dreaded, it's called a dreaded H pattern. I forget the name of the person that coined that. I used to know, but forgot. But here's the back. Let's make that white. There's the back of the H, and there's the H pattern right there. And what we're looking for is a breakdown of these lows, or certainly in this area is buying right here. Another one I have is SATS. Look at SATS, SATS. See how we've come down through the 50 period moving average. So any kind of move up and a failure would set that up as a blue ice failure. Actually, one maybe could make that argument that here we are. This is a weak argument, but we'll go with weak for now. Here we are down. See how we're up, and then we're failing. So one could make that argument as a blue ice failure. But right now, that's not looking too healthy. GM. This is actually one that I'm in. Right here, short. Where's my pin again? And you can see how we're down. Whoa, that is not what I wanted. There we go. Here we're down. We rally up to that 50 period moving average, and now we're failing. And if we drew a line from this top down, there's our downtrend line right there. So below that low, that sets that dreaded H pattern in play to the downside. NLY is another one. We're just kind of walking on the bottom side of that 50 period moving average, basically waiting for that to drop to the downside. But that's looking a little bit short. A CMG, that's looking short. And again, here we are. We're above that 50 period moving average. We go below it. We try to recoup, and we can't, and down we go. Anyway, that's the blue ice failure. I think that's one of the I think it's one of the best short setups. And then in these areas, which all these are 3/8 traps, by the way. I probably should have had that up there. 5, what in the world? Let's change this to a low because that's what I use. So 3 low. There we go. So see there, that's a 3/8 trap setup. Let's go back to GM. See, that's a 3/8 trap setup right there, short. CMG, 3/8 trap setup. AS, TS, I'm not sure that we looked at that one. That's a blue ice failure, 3/8 trap setup. So MFC, there we are, 3/8 trap setup. And blue ice failure as well. So let's move this. I don't usually keep that on the chart. There we go. All right. So I hope you guys have some charts. If not, I can certainly find some. It won't be a problem here. Let's see here. Hey, S, you're looking at EEM. Yeah, EEM emerging markets. Beautiful trend and nice little consolidation right here. Definitely a viable chart. Absolutely. Um, TD short. Yeah. The trend, a trend will stay a trend till it's no longer a trend. It's that simple. And you have no control other than that. Zero control. If you just accept the fact a trend will stay a trend till it's no longer a trend. And this is kind of an ugly chart to do this with, but let's try this. There we go. This is a 60-minute chart, just to point out the trend. I mean, there's your bear trend, right? And all of a sudden we turn bullish, just watching the red and green dots. Very simple. And here we are back in a bear trend, right? So yeah, TD looks short, absolutely. Here we tried, and like the blue ice failure. Um, the blue ice failure, it's just all it is where we're down. We attempt to break out of that 50 period moving average, but then we fail. That the same thing can be true on other moving averages. Here we are up right to the trend indicator and we fail, right up to the T line and we fail. This is why I use moving averages so much. There's so many there. Um, Look at that, up to the trend indicator and fail, trend indicator and sideways and move up. So definitely short on that one. Thank you very much. I'm going to flag that. Thanks. Coach is saying NLY pays a 12% dividend. Man, that's a lot. Nice. Hey, Sonny. Good morning, ACGL. Sonny, thanks for all your posts. I appreciate that. Sonny posts an awful lot of cool stuff over on Discord and Facebook. I appreciate that very, very much. ACL moving sideways, ACGL. I want to look at a 2-day chart, 3-day, 4-day, 5-day. And I want to do this because I don't like that daily, right? So let's make it look better. And this may look great to somebody. I just don't like that look. But if you take a look at the weekly chart, I'm in love with that chart. Man, that's nice. Here we move up and nice consolidation. It's the same chart. It's just the way you might view it. So right now, just based on what I saw on that daily chart, I'd probably want to see a breakout. And I think I'm thinking maybe over $100, $100, 80 cents maybe on that. Yeah. Let's see, SMH. This is baffling me. It really is. The market. One thing we did. Let's look at RSP before we go anywhere. RSP is doing pretty well. We've pulled back yesterday. Diamonds. I mean, overall, we're doing pretty good up here, and then it just totally lost it. Transport. IWM was doing fairly good, and now we're starting to lose IWM. We know that the Qs are gone. We know that the SPY is gone. We know that the MAGs are gone, right? But it's crazy. You look at SMH and it's rocking. You look at the transports and they're down today here. But overall, look at them. They're not doing too bad at all. Go to that weekly chart. They're just moving sideways right here. So the market it's testing us. I think the market is testing us. Wise traders will get out of the way of the train and you won't get run over. Those that aren't wise, well, you could become up missing a leg, foot, arm. So just stay away from the train. Don't get run over by it. Hey, Daryl, good morning. TV, I saw you posted that on Discord. Yeah, DVTX. Yeah, look at that. DVTX could be setting up. Let's get rid of all that. There we go. So here we've moved up. I'm not really going to call that a belt hold. I don't think we moved up enough, but here we're up. And now we're working above that candle right in here. So let's do that. So we're working above that candle right now, above that 50 period moving average. That just might show this stock has got some meat on its bones. So it could be setting up very nice. Thank you. Let's see here. SOXL. Yeah, SOXL is working out just fine. I'm gonna get rid of all that. There we go. Um, let's do this. Take this. Um, I think we should draw a line here, and let's draw a line right there. And man, we're just setting up for this big breakout to the upside. I suppose it could break out to the downside, but as I look at this chart, I see more power to the upside here. So watch for that breakout. That's something that could really help us out and set us up. Costco. Yesterday it wasn't doing too great, and today it doesn't look like it's doing too great. So you're asking long, you'd consider that a J hook type. Well, it's going to have to. It's got it's got parts. Let's get rid of that line. It's got part of the J hook there, but it doesn't. It's missing a big part. And if we start here, that is certainly part of the J hook. There's part of the J hook, but we really need to start up is what we need to do. And we haven't done that yet. Let's move this to a 2-day chart to see what it looks like. Look at that weekly chart. Yeah, we need to, it really needs to start moving up here. And then, yes, it would be considered a J hook. And then, of course, breakout makes it that J hook. What are my thoughts on Wolf, WULF? That would be a buy now for a lot of folks. But if we can take out these three candles, I guess today would be the fourth. So 1, 2, 3. That right here, this candle, and this candle, this is what we call a Fig Newton chart pattern. Very bullish chart pattern. Very bullish 3-bar candle pattern. And what we're looking for is that breakout. So a breakout over 1570, that would be an absolute buy. That's a nice chart. It's a buy now for a lot of folks. I mean, there's nothing wrong with buying it now. The pattern is there. It's set up. We're just waiting for that breakout to get us going here. But I think that's a very, very nice chart. Let's see. Coach, you're liking some Intel. I haven't looked at that one in a while. Intel could be setting up. Yeah, that definitely could be. Here we've come back to that 50% retracement. Nice couple bars yesterday and the day before, and then today is looking good. Right there on the 50-period moving average. So I think the thing to do maybe is draw a trend line like this. And that could run up to that trend line. Watch for consolidation. We're going to need to turn those dots green, but it could definitely do that. This morning's candle is looking pretty good. Thank you for bringing that to the table. That has some possibilities. I think some bank or somebody put a $60, $30.30 target on it. I think it goes to 68. That's my target on Intel. When Intel gets to rolling, that's what I'm looking at. But somebody higher up than me put a $60 target on it. It's higher up on the food chain. MU's looking bullish. I mean, MU's rocking. It had its little pullback here, and now it's starting to move up again. Look at that weekly chart. We're setting up nice. Yeah, follow the trend. Follow the trend. All right, let's see over here. Hey, again, thank you everybody that's on our social media. Please do me a favor. Click that thumbs up, whether or not you're in X, YouTube, or Facebook. Leave a comment. I sure would appreciate it. It helps out with all the fancy stuff that social media wants you to do. So I sure would appreciate that. Okay. Thank you very much. Let's start at the top up here. Let's see. IBRX. Moving up. I'm going to check volume because that looks wacky to me. But you know what? There's a lot of volume there, isn't there? Holy mackerel. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's bullish. It's just a matter of finding your entry there, Hot. I don't know what your entry is. I don't know if you're already in it, what you're looking at, but it's definitely trending up. Right now, if somebody was looking to buy it, it's real simple. Use yesterday's candle low. Anything below that, I think that's where the stop should be. Anything above that low, that's a buy. And if it starts to break out, that's also a buy right up there. Simple. just bracket yesterday's candle is what you need to do for a gap up like that. And I see now you wish you knew where you get in. You know, I love that question. Let me take a drink. I love that question. When people say, I wish I knew where to get in. And thank you for that question, but I don't think that should be the first question. I think the first question is, I wonder where this is going. That should be the first question. And once you answer that first question, the entry question becomes a piece of cake. So let's take a look at this chart. All right. And let's move down here like that. I'm going to go to a weekly. I'm going to go to a monthly now. And I just want to see the bigger picture. That's the only reason going to a monthly chart. Now that I'm on that monthly chart, I'm going to delete this stuff here. And let's draw some lines on this. And I'm going to, we're just going to go right there for now. That's pretty close. So I'm actually going to draw this down right there. Perfect. Because I want this candle right there on our 50% retracement. That's exactly where I want it. And I don't know, I've just done this a lot. So I know that I can adjust over here because I want these lines to match up the candles. Because once we get them to match up going forward, they do the same thing. I mean, look at us over here. We just about touched that 50%. We're right at that 50%. Here's it's the 25 line. Anything below this line right here, this is the construction zone. And you can see how, let's do this right here. See how we're just constructing the chart right here. All that is construction. And then all of a sudden we broke out of construction and went right to that 50% mark. All right, now let's go back to the daily. And again, I love it when people ask that question, where's the entry? I think that is not the first question to ask. I think the question is, where do we think it's going to go? Well, remember, a trend, stock in a trend will stay in a trend till it's no longer a trend. Keep that in mind. So now let's look at targets above. And I'm going to put another one. There we go. All right. So we've run up to that 50% retracement. So if you see the path moving up, which I do, I see that path moving up, maybe just to here, but from where we are now up to this one, that's 30%. So your entry, why not buy it right now? What has to be so fancy about an entry? Why are we concerned about an entry? We've already established where our stop is, right? We're gonna block yesterday's candle. We're gonna block it off like that. So we've got an inside day. Your buy is right now, and your target is up there, and there's your stop. Perfect scenario. Again, the first question should never be where the entry is. The first question should be, where do I think it's going to go? And then work from there. Okay. Anyway, nice chart. So thank you for that question. I appreciate it. Hey, Vernon, you're looking at some ALB. There we go. Nice chart. Let's flag that. Boom. Bouncing right off that 50 period moving average. Getting ready to take off here. That looks nice. First thing up is come up and test those highs, and then we'll see about moving that thing higher. Very nice. Abbott. Abbott's trying to move up. Yeah, Abbott's trying to move up. 50 period moving average. What would frighten me a little bit is the 500 period moving average is right there. So we're going to need to get through that area through Abbott. Speaking of Abbott, that did remind me of one, and you entered it yesterday. Nice job. That reminded me of one I looked at this morning, and I've been in this before. And PFE, I think we need to look at PFE, Pfizer here. So here's the daily chart, and you can see that everything is still trending to the right side. I mean, price is doing okay. We're in a pullback right now. Trend indicator's green. The 50 period moving average is rising. And you see that line right there? That's the 500 period moving average. We've broken out over that and we've come back and tested it. I see targets on this. There's the 50% retracement, by the way. That's where I see this going. And then targets up there would be target 1 would be 29.40, target 2 would be 34, and then target 3 up here would be what about 37, maybe 38. And that's about 28% away. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. Look at that weekly chart. Look at that bottom it's putting in, and we've got a rounded bottom breakout on the weekly chart. So I think PFE is maybe one to keep an eye on. We're also dancing around with that dotted deuce right there. We break out of that. Here comes the 200 period moving average. So let's definitely keep our eyes. In fact, I think I forgot to write that down. No, yeah, I did write that down this morning. I was looking at that. Thank you for helping me remember that. Hey, Mark, good morning. Vernon, looking at some UNH. UNH, and probably still a little bit to the short side for me. If it turned up, here's some possibilities. If it did start to turn up, well, we could make an argument, hey, there could be an inverted head and shoulders here. So it's going to need to do that. I think we need to turn the trend indicator green before I see a long chart here. Otherwise, that's still looking a little bit to the short side. And I see you wrote short next to it. Thank you. A coin is still short. I had high hopes for coin here the other day, but it just didn't. Bitcoin is just having a tough time. It really is. So yeah, still short until further notice. Yeah, definitely. Let's see, Gilead, G-I-L-D. Gilead, that's not a bad chart. Let's get rid of all that right there. There we go. Look at that. I mean, that's beautiful. I'm going to take a look at the weekly. Look at that weekly, just up, nice little pullback. Everything is working. Today's candle, this is by the way, is a bullish candle right here. So this morning we're moving up. Very nice. So, it's really easy on a chart like this. Where's your stop? Well, if that trend indicator turns red, you wouldn't want it, right? I wouldn't. So get out of it. We're getting that bullish signal in here. Maybe some other folks need something a little more confirmation. I could see there 152.85, 87. That would be a little confirmation. Other traders are going to look at maybe a breakout right here. And that on all these charts like this, let's see, what am I going to use here? Let's make this white. There we go. You've got traders in this area that are going to be buyers. Whoops, let's make that not so big. You've got traders here that are going to be buyers. Once we move up to that next level, then these traders are going to be happy as can be. And when we start moving up, that's going to bring in more buyers, right? And then we start to move up. These guys are going to be very happy, maybe some profit taking. But what's going to happen when we break out, it'll bring in more buyers. And then what will happen is there's always that little bit of consolidation. And then, let's just make this green. And then we take off. Because all these buyers, now the ones down here, they're probably profit takers early on. The majority of them, I think, probably early on. But when you start getting up into these two categories, these guys are looking for these moves right here. So when this thing starts to move and breaks out, it brings in a ton of buyers, and then that's what pushes us up higher. That's a nice chart. Thank you very much. Who gave us that one? Gilead. Nice chart. Nice. USD, that's trying to take off. Sideways. It needs to break out. Yeah, it's not trying to take off, maybe a little premature. It's still running down the runway. It's actually still in the hangar. Yeah, getting fueled up. But yeah, it needs to break out there. Okay. Hey, what time? Oh, my goodness. It's about that time. Hey, again, I want to thank everybody for being here. Absolutely appreciate it. Those over in the free room, thank you for being here. Absolutely appreciate that. Again, leave a thumbs up if you would. Anyone looking for a trial, we still have a trial, 14 days, absolutely free. Hope to see you in the room. Good trading today, everyone. Be a little careful. Be gentle on that old mouse here. You know, don't get too happy with it. Not till the market starts to work. All right, we'll see everybody. You guys take care. Thank you.